Hello guys, it's Fangy, and this is my first video creating a Fakemon. It is my first time creating a Fakemon at all, and it's been years since I've even drawn Pokemon in general, so this is going to be very new and a very interesting experience. I've wanted to create my own Pokemon region for a while, so I'm finally getting started, and this is where I'm starting off with my little Grass Fawn starter Pokemon. And I was struggling in the sketch phase with how I wanted to make the ears. I was thinking, did I want to make them leaves? But then I didn't want them to look too detached from the actual Pokemon, so I made them little, like, bushy ear protrusions, and that seemed to work out, although I'm not exactly sure how I feel about them, but they're fine. So, just going with it. Going with the flow, as it were. So, I'm not going to say what exactly the region is going to be yet because I haven't worked out all the kinks, but it's so far going to be fun. The nose here, I was like, I do not want to make an anatomically incorrect nose for a deer, so I did like a little cartoonish version of what a deer nose is like. I also struggled with how I wanted to do the body. I was like, do I want it to be like kind of like bushy fluffy like this, or did I want it to be like more smooth like an actual deer and just kind of have markings that kind of separated the foliage bits from everything else? And I just decided I wanted it to be like a little bush deer. And here I added berries because I originally wanted to name this little guy Leafeon, like Leaf and Fawn, but then I was thinking it's a little too similar to Leafeon, so I was like, okay, I'll just put little berries on it for fawn spots and call it Bamberry. So that's what I ended up doing. So he has little berry fawn spots and it's adorable. So, like I was saying, I haven't drawn Pokemon in a long time, and I've never drawn in anything relatively close to the Pokemon style, so I'm hoping that this didn't turn out too horribly. I like it, but I'm not sure how it turned out as far as like creating a Fakemon goes. So if anybody has any comments or like tips to help me with that, that would be great. I especially struggle with shading. In general, shading is like the bane of my existence, but trying to do like an established style of shading is a little more difficult, especially when like I look at Pokemon art and it seems to have like no real rhyme or reason for like where shading and highlights are placed. Like they seem to have like the general rules of lighting and shadows, but it also seems a bit random. So yeah, I struggle with that a little bit here when I do get to the shading. As for the color palette, I wanted it to be like not too saturated. The leaves were a little more saturated. I thought that fit pretty well, but I didn't want the wood-based parts of this little guy to be too saturated, so I made it a little more desaturated. I chose like this purpley color for the eye, just because it happened to be a little more neutral. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that, but it works for now. I still have the layers, so I can go back and change it if I decide I don't like it. And I can also just redraw this little guy in the future when I improve anyway. But so far, it's fine. And here I go with the shading. As you can see, I'm just I'm just like, heck, let's just do whatever. And I mean, it turns out okay, but it's definitely not the best by any stretch of the imagination. But it's alright, I suppose. I did choose to do little red berries on there because that's like a cute little default color for berries, and I like it. They remind me of little cranberries. It makes me happy. This whole little guy like makes me happy. Originally I wanted him to be a shy little fawn, but then I started sketching this alternate pose and I really loved it. So I stuck with it, and I just love how cheerful and happy he is. I don't know why I keep calling it a he. It could be male or female, but I just keep calling it a he, and I will continue to do so, I suppose. It's so cute. Yeah, here we go. Like, I'm kind of just like, what the hell ever with the shading at this point. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. It looks halfway decent, sort of-ish. And here we go with the highlighting little nose. Just putting it wherever I feel is remotely necessary. I even highlighted the berries, which was an interesting choice, but it sticks. And so here we have little Bamberry, the grass fawn Pokemon. And I love him so much, especially his little autumn-themed shiny. It's so cute, and I love him so much. And I hope you like him too, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and a comment if you want to, and thank you so much for watching.